Welcome back to a big Monday show. Rodgers to the Raiders. Got some more momentum courtesy of checking notes loudly. Fans at a golf course and a flag football game. All right, still counts though. Let's take a listen.
I'm just going to say that the predominant team that we hear as we're walking is Raiders. A lot of Raider fans are encouraging me. A lot of Davante misses you comments.
Would I be interested in having Aaron Rodgers throw to me?
Yes.
Yes. I would love that. The trolling, I'm first team all troll, so don't take none of that too serious. But I would love to have that, and obviously that'd be a dream scenario.
Scenario. I feel like he lived that dream for quite some time.
Second team all troll. I'm gunning for it. Greg, do you love or hate? I don't know why you would hate it. Maybe your Packers loyalty. Rodgers in Vegas.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And if my memory serves me correctly, I was probably the first person to ever even mention Aaron Rodgers.
What?
Yeah, I think
the Raiders.
Wow. I think he's right.
I'm just saying.
He's right. It's documented.
Really? Brew was gone.
Brew calling him a home short nest.
I'm just saying.
It's true.
And everybody from Green Bay land, what is he talking about? He's just, look, it's a real deal. Again, you bring in a guy like Davante Adams, you part ways with his best friend, who's the quarterback, Derek Carr. You got to make sure that you're building and you're trying to win now. You didn't bring Davante Adams in to say, you know what, we got some time. No, your time is right now, and you have to bring in a quarterback that can execute. If you go after Aaron Rodgers, what would make you appealing? Well, you had Davante Adams. There's no question there's chemistry there. You don't have to concern yourself about off-season, building a rapport with – now, there are other guys, but speaking of a number one guy, you got that in Davante Adams. Obviously, we know the rapport. We know what they've been able to do with one another. I would love to see it happen if it were to happen. I don't know if they win it all because of that move, but it definitely gives them a chance.
Brew, go ahead. I'm curious what you got to say, Brew.
Well, I agree with what Greg said. I mean, selfishly, I would love to see it. I think it'd be great for the league. It'd be a lot of fun. Here's the problem. I think even Greg probably agrees with me. Are they reaching the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers there?
Yeah, exactly.
No. Are they? You know what I mean? Like, they're not winning the division. Now, for a team that has only made this playoffs twice in the last 20 years, making the playoffs, being relevant, being fun and sexy, that might be enough. But that is all they would be. They're not beating Kansas City, Cincinnati, probably not Buffalo, maybe not even the Ravens
Patriots.
if Lamar Jackson is back. So this is why I throw this out. There's a cheaper alternative. He's not as good as Aaron Rodgers, but smarter football people than me love him, and we'll get to that later. Jimmy G. Jimmy G obviously has the rapport. He has the rapport with Josh McDaniels. Yeah. He'll be much cheaper.
Yeah.
And no, you're not winning the Super Bowl with him either. But you might get just as far as you do with Aaron Rodgers, and you don't have to pay him half as much.
Can I say something?
Please.
As a resident AFC West fan and Chiefs fan, I hope the Raiders do this. I hope
Rodgers or Jimmy G?
Rodgers.
Okay.
Rodgers. I'm going to actually talk about the subject at hand,
he definitely
not
don't
my
want
old
Jimmy G
quarterback
in that
crush,
division.
Jimmy Garoppolo. I hope they do it because the AFC West continuing to try to microwave success instead of build it organically is not going to end well. The Broncos tried to do it with Russ. Because of that, they had to give Sean Payton $100 million to come try to fix that when it's not fixable. The Chargers just tried to do it, but the defensive side of the ball. Overpay for Khalil Mack. Overpay for J.C. Jackson. I don't know how many of you were reading The Athletic today, but a story came out saying they're going to have to cut Keenan Allen now because they don't have the cap space to move that team going forward. Should have been in the show. It's a big story. Keenan Allen available. He might end up playing for the Chiefs next year, actually. You think it's a big story, don't you, Greg? Yeah, I tried to maybe put it in the show. But instead, we have a Jimmy Garoppolo, Joe Montana topic coming up later. You don't want to miss. And now the Raiders, who tried to microwave it with Davante Adams, are now going to try to microwave it more with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. You have a top 10 pick. Draft a quarterback. Develop a quarterback. Draft smart players. Don't go on spending sprees like you got your parents' credit card. So go ahead and try it if you want. It's fine. All it means is it will be a couple more years until you can actually start to build a contender. These teams all the teams you mentioned, Brew, what is Cincinnati? Buffalo, you left out the Jags because of an odd bias against royalty. The Ravens, what do they all have in common? They drafted their quarterback. They developed their quarterback. They built the team the way you have to build contenders, unless you are the Bucs or the Rams the last couple years, which to me seemed to be incredibly odd scenarios where Brady came available and was still great, and the Stafford, the Lions let him go. Like, that's not the way to build a contender.
But they did win the Super Bowl.
I understand, but neither of those teams were overwhelming dominant throughout the season to where it was like, oh, they're definitely going to win the Super Bowl. They did, and I give them credit. And now the team's a total mess. Now and what Brew and Greg are saying is the Raiders wouldn't be able to win the Super Bowl with this. Yeah. So what are we doing? Yeah. What are we talking about? Davante be happy, but Davante didn't have to leave.
Okay. Really hate microwaves, huh? Woo. Coming up next. I mean, you just hate microwaves. Microwave this? No. The gas stove. Got political there.
Smart toaster.
Yeah. Right now we're going to talk about the Chiefs, though. How good will Kansas City's offense be? Very good if you ask 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. He's expecting fireworks. Take a listen.
Yeah, hypothetically speaking, if I were going to bet on this game, I would go take everything that I own, get it in cash, and put my money on Kansas City Chiefs. They got their hands full. I don't know fully about that defense. I don't know. They talk about them being a good defense. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure. I think the pass game, this Kansas City pass game will expose what we thought we were going to be able to expose before some unfortunate circumstances happen. So we'll see. But like I said, you got to get lucky to win the Super Bowl, and they just got extremely lucky last week. So who's to say they can't do it twice?
Okay, some unsound gambling advice there from Brandon Ayuk. Greg Jennings is here. Greg, welcome. I love that tie. I think it's actually one of mine. Nick, I was just saying, we share a lot in the stylist. We share a lot of stuff, and it's one of my favorites. Are you expecting Mahomes to expose the Eagles' defense?
It's certainly on the board. So the Eagles' defense is exceptional at getting to the opposing quarterback, and the Chiefs' offensive line will face a massive test. However, when it comes to tests, the Eagles, I'm not sure they are prepared for their part of it. So while one of the quirks about me, I have a number of them, but I try to wait as long as possible into the winter before I put on a coat. Because I want, when the Arctic blast hits, to be able to bundle up a bit and feel better. And I feel like the Eagles have been walking around in their North Face for a bunch of 40-degree days. And it's about to be 5 below, and I'm not sure they have enough layers for it. So I'm going to show you guys a graphic, and it'll be pretty clear what it is in short order. It's a bunch of nondescript quarterbacks with a couple decent ones in there. That is, of course, the full list of quarterbacks that the Philadelphia Eagles have played this year. And you will notice they played what I would call 4 good to very good quarterbacks this year. Goff, the Prince, Rodgers, and Dak. 3 of those 4 scored 33 or more on them. And the Prince, if you remember, it was a torrential monsoon in that game, and he fumbled the ball 4 times, but they moved the ball pretty well aside from that.
Well, moved it.
So, Greg, when in the last month you played Josh Johnson, Brock Purdy, Davis Webb, who else is on there? Andy Dalton, Dak, who then scored 40, Daniel Jones a couple times. I don't think you're ready for the Patrick Mahomes aerial assault that's coming on Sunday. I don't think they're ready for it.
Whoa. Let's slow down.
Okay. Whoa.